Got the file. Stop them. Got it. Dispatching the contractor now.
What do you need, man? Go look. If you see a pinche pendejo, llámala.
Shit. There's a trespasser. Find him.
What? I got Prime 8 on me too? Whatever you're up to,
attention. You try out running them and the cops before you take care of them.
I'll see if I can block him off.
We've got a patrol SUV in pursuit of suspect. We gotta stop this guy. He's driving all over the place. Crap! I need help.
Engaging. We're going on.
Squad, we're gonna circle back and see if we can pick him up.
Squad, our control system is scrambled. Crap, I lost him. Squad, this is CH2. We're on our way. Suspect is in sight. We'll back up ground units. No line of sight on the suspect. Shifting to another location. We're going weapons free. Find a way around.
Be advised, units are en route to the suspect's location. We have eyes on suspect. He's gone off the road. We gotta stop this guy. All units, suspect is still in the area. That's fine.
Suspect is on
Advised, a
all
patrol
roads.
SUV has
Never
been
take
dispatched
the
after the
stop.
suspect. Any units grab a visual. He's ducked out of sight.
We're on his tail. Keep on moving. CH2 squad. Our control's been hacked. Squad, we're gonna circle back and see if we can pick him up. He's not getting away that easily. Keep looking.
We've got a patrol car in pursuit of suspect.
I've done a lot of things that I ain't proud of. Yeah, I never claimed to be an angel. But you meet Trevor Franklin, you'll swear I am an angel.
I have met a lot of assholes in my life, but you, well, you're not long for this world if this is the way you fucking act. You little jumped up motherfucker!
Look, man, it's been a real honor, homie. But I gotta move forward in my life. It seems like all I do is let people tell me what to do and I do it and nothing changes.
Evil is a construct made by people who wish to indulge childish fantasies or by people who wish to judge others.
When there's some shit to be won, goddammit, I want it. I don't give a fuck what it is. You know what I'm talking about? I take no prisoners. I go hard doing this shit. Big dog, big nuts.
You are nothing but a murdering, cheating hypocrite. Thank you, Michael, whatever the fuck our fake last name is. You have ruined my serenity yet again.
Tell you what, my boy, you tell me exactly what you want, and I will very carefully explain to you why it cannot be.
Man, fuck y'all. Ain't there a law against you mark-ass gangsters, insignia, mask-wearing motherfucker?
Girl, I done all that I can do. But you know how boys are.
Mandy's backhand has come a long way, bro. But sometimes it's gotta get worse to get better.
I know little niggas like you been turned out on the daily, talking about being hit up. Nigga, I swear, man, you ain't got no motherfucking respect.
We all get high! We all get high! But that don't make it right!
Johnny. Leave it!
The crystal has got us, babe, but don't make it right. Don't make nothing right. Not what you done with me.
Fuck you, Lamar. I mean, Franklin or whatever. Everybody on the block knows you gonna boing wood and shit.
According to her Life Invader page, she's hanging out with producers and porno guys this afternoon.
Dad, you're embarrassing me. These are my friends.
Hey, you seen Ash?
Johnny ain't gonna be cool if you messing with her again.
I work, okay? And I can handle myself. I ran with some big guys in LC, and the only guy I know over here is him.
We heard that Trevor Phillips Corporation is serious business. We pay good price. Things work out, we partner, make big money.
I'm rushing! You gotta go, both of you. My girlfriend, she'd kill me if she knew I had gas. There's two Michael Townley living in LS. One is 83, and the other one is at kindergarten. Completion is tough, bro. To control the market down there, we gotta control supply up here.
You've got to work on your anger, brother. It's killing you.
I got multiple sexual harassment lawsuits, plus I'm an addict, all right? And I've relapsed. I can't stop jacking, dude. I jack it in traffic.
So, if your problems are my problems, then I guess that means that my problems are sort of your problems.
I appreciate your honesty. You are a good man. I can see that.
I ain't got a story. I'm an independent thinker, living out here away from the man.
I told you! I got a career! I don't need this crap!
I work 2 jobs, man. Take any break I can get.
I love you and Lamar. We grew up together, but this life ain't for me, and you knew that. You ain't changing. I don't care how many cars you own, how many apartments you own. I don't care how many diamonds you put in your ear. It ain't for me, not done bad or done good.
There was an Eastern European guy making moves in Liberty City, but he went quiet.
Only assholes retire, Michael. Him and my son, they want to put me out to pasture so they can turn this place into condos or a theme park or something.
Mr. Weston's research team suggests the 2 boys like to ride on the Sonora Freeway. We can get a good price for the vehicles in Asia. Look, complete the work, you'll all be well paid.
I'm sorry for any misunderstanding, sir. And I appreciate all the opportunities that you've given me.
PM's pushing for more functionality. But we are maxed.
I'm not releasing a sex tape for at least 3 years, unless my agent tells me.
If you don't want to become rich beyond your wildest dreams while performing a vital public service, you won't meet me again.
Anyway, talking of fools, what would you say if I told you some fools I knew were running a little racing competition?
In my youth, I wanted to be a cheerleader, and I nearly made it to the top. But then I discovered a burning passion for justice.
Today, I was speaking with Carpet Tom in the Paradigm 4. And he said that we should deliver some of the Apocalypse funds to the Cayman Islands.
I have put together this ship to their exact specifications. I got every piece you sent through.
Democracy only works when it lets intelligent people do what they want. This is tyranny by morons.
This company has come a long way since we started it in my parents' pool house in East Carroll.
You're from the hood, right? You don't want to pick up the guns, because, like, if you pick up the guns, everybody dies. It's tragedy, pathos.
What's up, homie? It's all good. My dad's really happy with me. He loves you too.
Frank's submarine broke apart while he was trying to save the San Andreas White Shark. But his body was never found.
These damn tourists coming out here to gawp at rednecks. Give them what they want, I say.
No, I don't want to sleep with you. And no, I don't care that I'm 39 and single. It doesn't worry me a bit. Now go fuck yourself.
We were trying to break in to Bruce Spade's house and steal his rubbish.
The things these stars throw away, they're not like you or me.
I used to sell houses like this all the time, okay? I sold dreams. I made lives meaningful.
If along the way I figure out what it means to be alive, well then, let's just make this a little spiritual and say I'm on a thought journey. Мы здесь защищаем честь Америки. Это предназначено судьбою. Гордая страна, которая может совершить геноцид и назвать это волею Божьей.
Fella can't speak 2 words of English, but he knows this is the best country. Jesus!
I've always wanted a gay son. A son who wouldn't forget about his mother.
I don't know anything. I don't know. I already told nothing. Nothing. I don't know anything. Please.
It costs a lot of money to track you down. I've been calling every favor I could in the Midwest. And then you kill several good men. Good day, huh?
The agency is stepping up to questioning because of your moronic antics down at the coroner's office. We need to get him out of there before he blabs.
Some people, they no longer fear me as much as they used to. People who wear clothes to me.
People used to like films, now they like what? Videoing themselves, beating off on their iFruit phones. Don't blame me. I'm a very spiritual person. I feel badly about this. But evolution is evolution. Oh, my N-word, huh? What's up, homie, huh? Oh.
like us, so she left.
On the edge of paradise, every inch of skin is a holy that I gotta find. Only you can set the heart on fire, Just set no face, 'cause there's nothing to dread. The feeling around, can't see it anymore. What do you mean it's all?
Hands on each other, couldn't stand to be far apart. Closer the better. Now we're picking fights and slamming doors, magnifying all our flaws, and I wonder why, wonder what for, why we keep coming back for more. Is it just how bad it? Are we both losing our mind? Is the only reason you're holding me tonight? 'Cause we're scared to be lonely. Do we need somebody? Just don't feel like we're alright. Is the only reason you're holding me tonight? 'Cause we're scared to be lonely. Tell me how can we keep holding on tonight? 'Cause we're scared to be lonely, even when we know it's wrong. There's somebody better for us all alone. Tell me how can we keep holding on tonight? 'Cause we're scared to be lonely. Is it just how bad it? Are we both losing our minds? Is the only reason you're holding me tonight? 'Cause we're scared to be lonely. Is it just how bad it? Are we both losing our minds? Is the only reason you're holding me tonight? 'Cause we're scared to be lonely. Do we need somebody? Just don't feel like we're alright. It's the only reason you're holding me tonight. We're scared to be lonely. Policeman, I don't want no trouble. I just wanna drop my jiggle down to the floor. Hey, Mr. Policeman, why you wanna holler at me? I just wanna drop my jiggle down to the floor. Hey, Mr. Policeman, I don't want no trouble. I just wanna drop my jiggle down to the floor. Hey, Mr. Policeman, why you wanna holler at me? I just wanna drop my jiggle down to the floor. Down to the floor.
No arrest button, mama, your business.
Down to the floor. Hey, Mr. Policeman, why you wanna holler at me? I just wanna drop my jiggle down to the floor. Hey, Mr. Policeman, I don't want no trouble. I just wanna drop my jiggle down to the floor. Hey, Mr. Policeman, why you wanna holler at me? I just wanna drop my jiggle down to the floor. Down to the floor.
Got me feeling some kind of way. You wanna stare at the moment slowly. You tell me love how you put it on. You know how to turn it on. The way you feel like my deal, don't wanna hear. Be taking so we can dance off.
Tú eres el imán y yo soy el metal. Me voy acercando y voy armando el plan. Solo comenzando se acelera el pulso. Oh yeah, ya me está gustando más de lo normal. Todo mi apetito va pidiendo más. Estoy que tomando, estoy que tú maduro.
Yeah,
This is how we do it down in Puerto Rico. I just wanna hear you screaming, ay bendito. I can move forever cuando esté contigo. Sigo partido, eso es mío. Ahora es contigo, enseñas mi boca. Lugares favoritos, por eso estoy contigo, nacido. Por eso vestido, bajo de calor, poquito a poquito. Tanto siento, que viene tu apellido. No te ganas tu pelo, quiero ser tu ritmo. Enseñas mi boca. Los lugares favoritos, por eso sobrepasar tus horas de peligro, hasta provocar tus gritos, que vienes convenido, despacito.
Next thing you know, shorty got low. Them baggy sweatpants and no Reeboks with the straps. Turn around and get that big booty inside. She hit the floor. Next thing you know, shorty got Shawty got them apple bottom jeans with the fur. The whole club was looking at her. She hit the floor. Next thing you know, shawty got low. Them baggy sweatpants and no Reeboks with the straps. Turn around and get that big booty inside. She hit the floor. Next thing you know, shawty got low.
when it comes to the rules, we don't apply these. We don't do IDs, but we on the wave like the high seas. We live by the code, and we only came for the gold. Yeah, that's how we roll. Ain't nobody messing with my thieves, and this is my crew. We do what we want to do. This year might not be for you. This what we want to be. Up in the sand in the sun, cannons and guns, bandanas and rum. This is the life for me. Tortuga. Yo, trouble and sin, down here it blows in the wind. Temptation's a bitch, and that bitch always a win. You can feel it in the air. We live free, we don't care. So open the beer, let's make a toast. Blow some smoke in the air, yeah. This is your captain speaking to you, and this is an order. Better leave your conscience and all that back at the border. Swimming in beautiful women surrounded by all this Caribbean water. Man, we party harder than Mardi Gras up in the city of New Orleans. This is my crew. We do what we want to do. This year might not be for you. This what we want to be. Up in the sand in the sun, cannons and guns, bandanas and rum. This is the life for me. Tortuga. Now let's have a little bit of fun now. I'll make one track out of two now, and it's a little bit funny when I'm wrong now, but everybody's talking about the breakdown. Now let's have a little bit of fun now. I'll make one track out of two now, and it's a little bit funny when I'm wrong now, but what can I say? Party non-stop.
Party non-stop.
What can I say? Party non-stop. Party non-stop. Party non-stop. Now let's have a little bit of fun now. I'll make one track out of two now, and it's a little bit funny when I'm wrong now, but everybody's talking about the breakdown. So I break these records into pieces and fix them together just how I need them. Play it in the club at 12 o'clock, and what can I say? Party non-stop. Now let's have a little bit of fun now. I'll make one track out of two now, and it's a little bit funny when I'm wrong now, but everybody's talking about the breakdown. So I break these records into pieces and fix them together just how I need them. Play it in the club at 12 o'clock, and what can I say? Party non-stop. Now let's have a little bit of fun now. I'll make one track out of two now, and it's a little bit funny when I'm wrong now, but everybody's talking about the breakdown. Now let's have a little bit of fun now. I'll make one track out of two now, and it's a little bit funny when I'm wrong now, but what can I say? Party non-stop. What can I say? Party non-stop. Party non-stop.
that thing so to the rhythm. Let's go now. Here we go. Pop that thing so to the rhythm. To the rhythm. Pop that thing, she go. Pop that thing, so to the rhythm. Here we go. Pop that thing, so to the rhythm.
Off-time, on-time, click with my trick, my boy, get a spotlight fixed to my shit like Victor Richter. Watch a few G, mixed up, still pop pills and a freestyle D-song. That dirty give a twist out, fire hot, pipe bar, Ember, Cassandra, Martian offender, since birth, that bullet in a blender, mixed to agenda, sister, turn a man hole, Johnny money mo, just lick honey, honey flow, needle way, incoming, mixed up way, that rips her skin, just to put it up on Instagram, I don't care with the grinchy grin, spend it all money on the instant win, sunny burn, don't flinch when in, sunny don't start when I send when still, trust things, just every cycle, exigent steps when I end steps, friend, waiting, time to spit and wish you with a wish you within, make out while my life is sick, beginning to mix them bars I brew, all my fucking what I do.
Pop that thing so. Let's go now.
Go. 2, 3, go.
Real love is all around, it won't let you down. You are royalty waiting to be crowned, and if that love is the truth, it will come right back to you. It's beautiful inside of you, it's all there for you. It's true. Real love is all around, it won't let you down. You are royalty waiting to be crowned, and if that love is the truth, it will come right back to you. It's beautiful inside of you. We try hard to get by, try to keep our dreams alive. By any means, no hesitation. When you can't see the light, even in your darkest night. I know a change will come. It's all there for you. It's true.
the lesser fight. My body aches to be satisfied. My weakness comes and goes. My weakness comes and goes. I'm reaching out for the easy high. Please fortify this strength of mine. My weakness comes and goes. My weakness comes and goes. The lesser fight. My body aches to be satisfied. My weakness comes and goes. My weakness comes and goes. I'm reaching out for the easy high. Please fortify this strength of mine. My weakness comes and goes. My weakness comes and goes.
Wanna be all things, trying hard to be someone else. All we want is please, giving no time to breathe. This is our identity. When you're under a somber sky, can't help it, we're by your side. In the end, when the winter comes, we turn our backs, we can't help, we're gone. This is our identity.
ourselves in the spirit of things. We lose our sight when we put our trust in things of this material world, of things that fade away. Yet we keep coming back, 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 keep coming back. Of things we know. In the spirit of things, we lose our sight when we put our trust in things of this material world, the things that fade away. But we keep coming back, 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 keep coming back. Of things we know.
Fill me out with your smile. Love is sunshine, brings the light. Fill me out with a flame. I will let you in this game. Take me out when I'm down. Cause with you I'm safe and sound. 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 Sunshine brings the light.
Take me out where I'm down, 'cause with you I'm safe and sound, 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 safe and sound. Bring that beat.
Eyes in the sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through? For you, for you, for you. In the sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through? For you, for you, for you, for you, for you, for
Oh, look. Guess what the word's gonna be? Beautiful. Okay. Hi. Oh, yeah. Fuck you. Bubblegum.
Gaming Bolt presents 15 most shameless fake video game console ripoffs. Video game console knockoffs have been a mainstay of our industry ever since the days of the NES, right up into our current console generation. There have always been fake knockoffs that try to mimic the leaders of the market with not just their names, but also their looks. Results are often groan-inducing and always hilarious. Today, we're going to take a look at some of the most shameless and hilarious console knockoffs we've ever seen. If you have any suggestions that we failed to mention, sound off in the comment section below. WiiWii. What do you do when you're ripping off a console that has an already stupid name? You double it, of course. Literally in this case. The WiiWii, as you can imagine, is a Nintendo Wii knockoff. It has similar motion control capabilities, but that's where the similarities end. It produces horrible, dated visuals. Not that you'd expect 4K from a knockoff, but given its name, we're assuming it's not suitable for children. Doubly so. iDong. It's called iDong. It wants us to make fun of it. And it's a Kinect knockoff, as if being called the iDong wasn't bad enough, as is. It has a Kinect-like motion sensor, and it comes with a controller that looks a lot like a PlayStation Move controller. It's the ultimate stop for everything to do with motion gaming. Truly a console of the future. Dreamcast. This one is actually pretty neat. The Dreamcast is a portable version of Sega's Dreamcast, and for all the Dreamcast fans out there, of which there are plenty, that's like a dream come true. The Dreamcast had a number of great games to speak of, and to be able to play them again and to be able to play them on the go is surely not a bad thing. Super Polystation 2. The Polystation is a legendary brand in the console knockoff market, almost as legendary as the PlayStation itself. While it looks a great deal like the PS2, it only plays old-school 16-bit SNES-style games, and they're not even good. Still, if you have an annoying young nephew that you want to fool into thinking you bought him a PS2, this would be the way to go. Polystation 3. Unsurprisingly, the Polystation 3 looks a lot like the PS3, but rather than moving forward with respect to a predecessor in terms of the visual quality and the overall quality of the game it can play, PlayStation 3 only plays crappy-looking LCD games. Its light is only slightly better than the actual PSPs. I'm kidding, of course. Popstation. This PSP ripoff is the most annoying thing you will ever hold in your hands. It plays awful-looking games that can bore a person to death, makes weird, annoying noise that will make ears bleed. The PlayStation has a number of buttons that resemble well-known PlayStation buttons. Most of them don't even do anything. It works best as a paperweight, but we're assuming you already have your PSP for that. PCP Station. Take Xbox 360's face buttons and put them into a shape that vaguely resembles Sony's handhelds, and you get this mess. The PCP Station is another PSP clone, only this one's name includes the name of a hardcore drug. It is, in fact, quite similar to its namesake in that it is entirely unsuitable for people who want to keep their mental health, but for entirely different reasons. LTPS Handy Game. From the people who brought you the incredible PCP Station comes its technologically superior successor, the LTPS Handy Game. The Handy Game is a PSP Go knockoff, but unlike the real thing, it looks flimsy and cheap. It only plays blocky black and white games, but shrewdly tries to trick you into thinking otherwise by having a constant color background for its screen. Game Theory Admiral. The Game Theory Admiral looks almost exactly like the Game Boy Advance, but it is actually a portable emulator of the SNES and also has the capability to play NES games. Pretty cool, to be completely honest, even if the build quality looks a little cheap. Oh, and its abbreviation is GTA. And if that doesn't convince you to buy this piece of hardware, nothing will. Game Joy Micro. Game Joy Micro. It is almost a Game Boy Micro, but it isn't. At first glance, it looks almost exactly like the real deal, minus a few details. Looking at it, you almost feel like you have to commend its creators for the excellent mimicking job they've done. We doubt it has the same excellent library as the real Game Boy Micro, but hey, at least it looks nice-ish. PX3600. The PX3600 is one of the most confusing things that has ever existed. It is the love child of the original PlayStation, the original Xbox, and the NES, but with none of their awesome libraries to go along with it. It's named like a killer robot sent from the future to kill you, and if you play it long enough, it will probably do just that. Power Player Super Joy 3, also known as random jumble of unconnected words followed by a number. The Power Player was actually quite popular back in the day. It was shaped like an N64 controller, came with another controller that looked a lot like a Genesis controller, and played NES games. It also came with a gun, presumably to play Duck Hunt ripoffs. Batman. This is the visual definition of the word confusion. It was called Batman, and yes, misspelled with 2 T's. Looked vaguely like an Xbox and had PlayStation-like controllers. It came with a gun and a Famicom cartridge. Also, there was an image lifted straight from Batman and Robin and printed on its box. Really, what more can be said about this? They could have at least gone with a good Batman movie. Mega Drive Extreme. The Mega Drive Extreme was an amalgamation of a number of consoles, so that it didn't rip off just one system, but several of them. It is essentially a Sega Genesis clone, but it looked a lot like the original Xbox. Its controllers, however, were very similar to the original PlayStation controllers. Here's the weird part, though. It had 6 face buttons. Yeah, 6. How the hell does that even work? Ouya. With a name like Ouya, you'd expect this to be an Ouya ripoff, but this was actually a brazen knockoff of both the PS4 and the Xbox One. The console itself looked almost exactly like the PS4, while the controller was a pretty faithful replica of the Xbox One controller. The system itself ran on an outdated version of Android. It was eventually canceled after it received criticism from its Chinese audiences for being such a blatant ripoff. And that'll be about it for this one. If you guys like what we're doing at Gaming Vault, please consider subscribing to our channel, and I'll see you guys on the next video.
Three, two, one.
Ah, horrible!
This ought to be interesting.
3, 2, 1.
What? Let's go, Cupcake!
Come on, baby.
Three, 2, 1.
Move, move, move!
The fuck?
Crap! Hello, gorgeous.
Good luck, pal. You'll need it.
Interesting opinion.
You pathetic fool.
I warn you, I'm weaker than I look.
Hey, shut the fuck up with that shit.
2, 1.
Ah, crap.
You are such an ass!
Open eye.
3, 2, 1. Let it drop. Hey, what's up guys? Tristan here, and today we have the Nintendo Switch. I've been looking forward to making this video for a long time. I've been playing for the last couple of days. I love it. I'm addicted to it already. So it's actually
Wag.
gonna hurt to do a drop test on this thing. Anyways, we're gonna go outside, we're gonna hook it up to a drone, and we're gonna take it all the way up to an extreme height of 1,000 feet. Then we're gonna let it drop. Can this thing handle a 1,000 foot drop? Well, there's only one way to find out. I think it will make it because it looks tough. It doesn't feel that tough, but it looks tough. Let's go outside, let's hook it up to a drone, and let's go have fun. Let's go.
Open eye, feel the waves cut through me, hypnotized by the sounds I'm breathing in. Hold tight, chemicals collide. Hold tight, hold tight, hold tight. Dripping lights paint the sky.
Check it out guys, here we have the Nintendo Switch. It's all ready to be hooked to the drone. So let's go ahead and take off. All right guys, the drone is ready. Here we go. We're gonna go all the way up. By the way guys, as usual, we're gonna give away a brand new Nintendo Switch. This is an international giveaway, so we can ship anywhere in the world. To enter the giveaway, simply be a subscriber to the channel and click on the link down below. You can see how to enter it there. So make sure you follow me on Instagram because I'm gonna announce the winner in 15 days. Good luck, take care, and good luck. Check this out guys, we are still going up. The Nintendo Switch is still there hanging. All right guys, here we go. 3, 2, 1, let it drop. Okay, it's coming. Pieces everywhere. Pieces everywhere. Here we have the Nintendo Switch. And this thing is completely dead, I think. Check this out. Let's find out if it turns on. I think it's on. Okay, I see something on the screen. What? The Nintendo Switch is alive. This thing is a beast, guys. Okay, we're gonna take everything off. We're gonna clean it, and let's see what was the damage. Okay, so here we have the Nintendo Switch. This is after the drop, but as you can see, the Nintendo Switch is a beast. It survived the impact from 1,000.
You late, bro. Where have you been?
Sorry, bro. You can't believe what happened.
What happened with you?
Never mind, never mind.
Let's go, Marcus. We gotta finish some hack stuff. Before you guys leave, thank you for watching this video. We appreciate that, and don't forget to share to make people see what we made, because we were so tired of making these videos. It's very hard to make this stuff happen.
This is my candy sushi. I'm gonna open. Because why not? Here, but I'm hungry, okay? Bye. Shit! Is that good, guys? Can you see that? Okay. know how to hold these, kind of. Oh, Doki Doki. Okay. I'm honestly not familiar with it, but whatever. I'm gonna just open it out of the package. I'm not gonna start to, like, try anything yet. Only one person watching. Okay, that's good with me. There's one watcher on my screen. I don't know if that's completely true, but whatever. Stab. Oh man, I don't have scissors. I have scissors. Oh, it's like Maggie. Oh, hi, Maggie. Oh, look at this sushi. I got it at the mall today. It was my friend. I hate clothes shopping, but like, I like shopping for trinkets, and I went with my friend for like 2.5 hours. It was great. Hi, small price. So, okay, I think I have enough people watching to start opening this. Oh, there's not enough. It's on a marshmallow. It's on a marshmallow. I hate clothes shopping. It's the worst thing. I hate it so much.
It's no joke.
Okay, let's get. What is this?
Now that we.
Oh, come on, man. You can do it. Go. Of all the sperms, you're the one that made it.
Fucking guy. Soy sauce, but it's a gum. Yes, and I eat it.
Hey,
Not like girlies. I have some slime.
you want to laugh away? Walk away right now.
You want to start something? Go fuck yourself.
What? You want to feel the people's elbow?
No. Like hair ties that never take off, but I just got this. My dad came home from.
I thought we were safe from things like this.
What is this?
No way.
I'm really bad at chopsticks.
Got it. We have an alert on a possible felon near your location. Over.
What am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to pick this one first? No, what is this supposed to be?
DedSec's hacking our system. Find them and shut them down. Squad, we're gonna need more support here.
Squad, we can see our guy. We're tracking for rapid.
Patrol SUV has been dispatched after the suspect. Squad, we need support.
No, this could be happening. Going to
Squad, we gotta get more units out here. These motherfuckers trying to move product through all right. Streets go round with blood.
Don't let me get hurt.
Taking cover.
Please, no. Maybe I should call someone. 911.
This isn't getting any well for you.
I knew that. I knew that.
Yeah!
Copy that. We're sending in a cleaner.
We're working with Stone Age tech. Ridiculous. Yeah, squad, stand by. We're swinging back around.
He's gotta be around here somewhere.
Still no sign of suspect. We'll keep looking.
A patrol van's been dispatched after the suspect.
Hey, where'd he go?
A handful of corrupt police have transformed the CTOS crime network into a dangerous weapon.
Calm down.
Recently leaked footage exposed the abuse, showing members of the Oakland Police Department using CTOS to flag themselves as undercover, enabling them to smuggle drugs and organize hits on members of their own community, all without any fear of reprisal. Councilor Miranda Kamei has asked for an independent task force to investigate.
We came, we saw.
You steamroll that shit.
Look, I'm not going to sugarcoat this. The original Watch Dogs was a bit of a letdown, wasn't it? And I'm not just talking about the whole unfortunate graphical downgrade thing either. Overall, it was just a bit dull, and it didn't help that unlikable protagonist Aiden Pierce had all the charisma of a packet of Tesco value-ready salted crisps. Anyway, it turns out Ubisoft has listened to all the feedback from the first game because it's injected a huge dose of personality into Watch Dogs 2. It's more colourful, more interactive, and there's a lot of stuff in here that'll make you laugh. Don't believe me? Well, I'm Eurogamer's Ian Higton, and recently I went for a 2-hour hands-on with the single-player portion of Watch Dogs 2 and managed to find 7 hilarious things to do in virtual San Francisco. Cue list video. Number 1, call-in gang hits. Look at that lady on the bench there, casually eating a bag of chips, or fries, or whatever the hell you call them where you're from. I mean, I like to call them potato rods, but that's just me. Anyway, I bet she's having a lovely day, munching away, lost in her thoughts. Good job I'm around to spoil it for her then, isn't it? In Watch Dogs 2, it's possible to cause some much-needed distractions, or in this case, a hilarious series of events, by bullying NPCs. There's a few ways you can do this, including calling the cops on them, but my favourite thing to do by far was ordering gang hits on unsuspecting citizens.
Tengo el objetivo en la mira.
Over time, Marcus will be able to earn direct lines to various criminal networks. Highlight your unfortunate mark and make one quick phone call and a random gang will send their hit squads racing into action, mowing down the target and anyone else unlucky enough to be caught in the crossfire. Now, sometimes that's all that happens. The hit will take place and the gang members will flee. But in this case, a cop car just happened to be at the intersection as shit went down, causing an incredibly deadly shootout.
Oh, there you go. There's the last chips you're going to eat. Cops have witnessed it. What are they going to do? Oh God! Are they going to let him get away? Oh my God! Those gangsters are just shooting at everyone now. There goes the cops are after him. We've got multiple cops on the scene now. The gangsters are they're not going down without a fight. 3 cops now. 1 cop's down. 2 cops are down. Jesus Christ! These are some hardcore gangsters. They are killing all the cops. My God, I kind of feel a bit guilty now. Just all started because of a woman and a chip. because of a woman and her chips. There they go. Holy crap.
The more you level up your gangs, the more firepower they'll pack and the harder they'll be to kill. These guys, who are the highest level of gang members you can get, took out about 20 cops before they finally bit the bullet. Hilarious, but maybe also slightly dark, I guess. Number 2, troll traffic. In Watch Dogs, Aiden Pierce was able to hack into streetlights and bollards and other roadside equipment and use those things to mess with Chicago's traffic. In the sequel, our new protagonist, Marcus Holloway, can do all those things, but as an added bonus, he can also now hack individual vehicles. The hacking is pretty straightforward. Highlight any vehicle, and you can either make it do a hard left or hard right, or force it to accelerate or reverse at high speeds. Now, obviously, this is a great way to clear the road ahead of you as you make your getaway after calling in multiple gang hits on innocent people, as you do. But it's also just fun to troll the traffic and see what kind of mess you can make.
Look at this. All the world's wrecks have decided to combine together.
Pro tip, this also works on parked cars and cars waiting at traffic lights. Hilarious automobile pileups ahoy. Number 3, laugh at the terrible dialogue.
Well, you got vegans. Is it actually good? It might be evil.
Bonus points for none of these characters being Aiden Pierce, of course, but come on, some of the stuff that comes out of their mouths is just plain painful, and if you don't laugh at them, chances are you might start to hate them.
My favorite part of the roller coaster is that long climb, the anticipation. Tick, tick.
Oh, yeah!
Number 4, interact using emotes. Now, on their own, emotes aren't much to shout about. I mean, it's not like making your in-game character do a stupid dance is a new thing. In Watch Dogs 2, however, if Marcus pulls off an emote in front of an NPC, chances are they'll react to him, and thanks to the emergent AI, this can lead to some unintentionally hilarious interactions.
Small dogs bark the loudest. Got news for you.
I didn't see this happen in my game, I was too busy calling in gang hits, but another event attendee told me that they'd walked into a bar where someone was playing live music on a piano. They set Marcus dancing in front of the piano, and the crowd in the bar all reacted by starting to cheer. That's some pretty impressive attention to detail, so it's going to be worth experimenting with emotes wherever you go in the game.
How long is this going on? Wow. I'm gonna get this.
Number 5, dancing with security droids. At a certain point in the game, Marcus will learn how to hack security droids and turn them into living jukeboxes. Combine this musical mech with the dance emote and you've got yourself an instant party. Ha! Perhaps not the best way to stealth a mission, but still, figuring out I could do this made me laugh a lot.
A robot in the streets, an android in the sheets.
A robot in the streets, an android in the sheets? Well, that's my next chat-up line sorted. Number 6, play driver SF. What do you get if you cross Crazy Taxi with Uber? You get Marcus's Driver SF mobile phone app, of course. Yup, as an obvious nod to Driver San Francisco, Ubisoft Reflections' amazing Man in a Coma race 'em up, Marcus is able to take Uber-style taxi jobs using his Driver SF mobile app to pick up a host of weird and wonderful characters.
Hello there. Let's head to Coit Tower first. I'll explain more as we go.
In the Driver SF mission I played, I had to take a thrill-seeking YouTuber called Daredevil Live on a high-speed tour of all the best jumps in San Francisco.
You're a natural.
These side missions are a nice change of pace for the game and seem to be a chance for Ubisoft to really go off the rails and get a bit creative. Kind of like the virtual drug missions in the original games, just without the virtual drugs and stuff. I was told by a developer that every driver SF passenger will want you to do crazy shit like this, and that some of them, if you pay enough attention to what they're saying, will unlock or help you find brand new missions in the game.
Hey, it's time to make some crazy money. Are you ready? Here we go!
Great jump!
Number 7, punching this guy in the throat.
Your deck is trash. You've got too many cards. Here, look. Get rid of all your wetlands cards. Your monsters there are all garbage, and you're only getting a +1 synergy bonus. You should be drawing +3 in like under 4 turns. You need to be pushing the Maelstrom's Awakener and loading your deck with Agents of Mighty Discord. They'll let you burn through your deck and give you a better draw percentage on Maelstrom.
Oh, come on. We all know he was asking for it. So, those were 7 hilarious things that I discovered during my first couple of hours playing Watch Dogs 2. I wasn't a fan of the first Watch Dogs, to be completely honest, but I can safely say Watch Dogs 2 is much more entertaining, and it's definitely one to keep on your radar, especially if you thought the first one was a bit of a disappointment. We'll be featuring plenty more Watch Dogs 2 coverage and gameplay on this channel very soon, so please do like this video and subscribe for more. And now, why not watch some footage of Marcus dancing on a hill overlooking the San Francisco skyline while we tempt you with 3 more Eurogamer videos. Ah, what a lovely view. Goodbye.
Great jump!
Watch Dogs 2 is a sandbox game all about choice. It's your world, it's your game, and it really urges you to do whatever you want to do. Here are 9 things you probably didn't know you could do in Watch Dogs 2.
Spaz if you want to.
First up, we've got drone racing. You're going to want to practice this quite a bit because those drone missions themselves can be quite tricky, and you're going to need all the experience you can get when you're piloting one of these little fellas. The race courses themselves look a lot like real-world drone racing tracks, and the high-contrast neon bouncing off the waters of San Francisco's harbors really show off how nice the game can look under the right conditions. We recommend racing in first person. It just makes everything that much easier.
The courses show off some of the more creative level design in the game, and we're told by the devs to expect a few drone puzzles knocking about here and there when the game launches as well.
Spaz if you want to.
Next, we've got the Driver San Francisco missions. You might recognise the name, it's another older Ubisoft game, and the missions we've played so far live up to the kind of missions you'd find in the last-gen title. You can access all these missions through your smartphone, which will give you a waypoint to get to and start the mission up. We're told there are many different kinds of missions. The one we played tasked us with getting as much air as possible so a Daredevil vlogger could upload another video and maybe break that 1 million subscribers barrier.
Spaz if you want to.
If you get bored of all these missions that feel a bit too much like real work, you can always take a break and mix with the local San Fran flavour by harassing the locals. The game's emote wheel lets you dance, flirt, insult, greet, cheer or pacify passers-by, and there's a slot that perhaps means we'll see more emotes in the main game too. Pedestrians may react well or not so well to your interactions, especially if you continually insult them.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
The emote wheel will be useful when you jump into the cooperative side of the game and need to quickly convey your pleasure or displeasure at your fellow gamers' actions.
Yes!
If not, it's useful just to troll people.
Spaz if you want to.
If the people of the city aren't entertaining enough for you, you can always start interacting with the dogs. We like how Marcus greets these little canine companions. He seems to really be on their level. We have no idea if there's any practical advantage to chatting to every dog you see, but it's impossible not to see one and say hi. We even tried to get photos with a few, but the poochers weren't as enthusiastic about that idea as us.
Spaz if you want to.
Once all your clothes start to smell of dog, you're going to need to get dressed. Watch Dogs 2 totally lets you dress however you want, and there's quite a lot of choice too. Naturally, we opt to dress like the douchiest hipster around. We are in San Fran after all. But if that kind of apparel isn't your jam, there's much more conventional hacker gear knocking about if you can find it. Certain special items of clothing are hidden in caches around the city as well, so good luck sniffing them out.
Spaz if you want to.
Now that you're dressed like an idiot, you can start acting like one. All that practice with the drone earlier lets you see some real action. Both drones, the helicopter and the RC, can drop explosive charges at will. And when these are on the ground, you can make them bleep to attract the attention of nearby enemies, or you can choose to put a proximity trigger on it, so it'll explode when someone's nearby. We much prefer to trigger it manually though, it's more satisfying that way. This is a useful tactic in missions if you want to keep Marcus out of harm's way, and it's also a useful technique for creating diversions for the police if you need to get around them. And don't forget about the RC drone. The little hopping thing might not have the utility of a flying device, but it can often reach places you can't. Remember that.
Spaz if you want to.
If you're feeling proud of yourself after unleashing pure havoc on the unsuspecting city, you can take quick selfies of yourself with the chaos unfurling behind you. If you want a more practical application of the old selfie, seek out landmarks and snap pictures of yourself posing in front of them. This will let you followers, and the more followers you have, the easier it's going to be to upgrade your abilities, and more missions will open up too. This follower count is persistent through the game, and it feels like a progression system that's continually rewarding you for doing anything in the world. It's a mechanic that means everything you do counts. And that's a great feeling in this kind of game.
Spaz if you want to.
When you're rushing from objective to objective, there's nothing more irritating than traffic getting in your way. You can still manipulate the traffic lights and various roadside bollards in Watch Dogs 2, but the new quick hack mechanic is by far the most useful highway tool. By simply hitting the left shoulder button while aiming at a car, you can cause the vehicle to veer violently to the left or right, opening up the road for yourself. It works on parked cars too, and really makes the vastly improved driving sections of Watch Dogs 2 more of an entertaining experience. Just try not to think about all the collateral damage.
Spaz if you want to.
Finally, one of our favourite hacks, calling the police on people. If someone in the street personally offends you, what better way of dealing with them is there than to have them arrested? One woman started to get all shirty with us after we got friendly with a dog. So a quick hack of her phone later and she's framed for murder. It doesn't matter that she's a volunteer at a soup kitchen, it's what she deserves. You can do this in missions too, and bring the police into shootouts you've started and get your enemies arrested. If the police don't want to risk their lives taking out known criminals, don't worry. You can also frame gangsters as traitors to their fellow gangsters and get members of their own squad to come and hunt them out. Splendid. So there you have it, a small selection of the sort of madness you can get up to in Watch Dogs 2. We'll have more videos on the game coming out in the following weeks, so don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks!
Using Marcus's skills, you can hack into anyone within the city, into most electronic devices or any car's computer system. Any of these can be manipulated in multiple ways as you progress in the game and extend Marcus's abilities.
And adding a lot of physics and feel to all the vehicles. So we keep the depth, but have more accessibility. The team is super happy with the result we've had, and I hope gamers will be just as excited. We are very excited.
Or go over there. Like, this is crazy. We got it. And also allow players to combine and mash these styles and play together.
We use our custom-made melee weapon, the Thunderball, to knock out the guard.
So we had to decide from the beginning what things were.
This demo is not scripted, and you are free to do as you please in our open world. The exit strategy range setup for us is one of many ways the player could use to leave the penthouse.
So you have a lot more control, a lot more flexibility in how you hack the world.
You see a forklift in the world, it shouldn't be a forklift. You can just like move the box up, down. You should, just like a camera, press a button and become that thing.
One of the core things that we're
Here we use network hacking to quickly access a security camera within the apartment.
Fine. They're scrubbing the evidence.
Get us access, Marcus, before it all gets wiped.
I'll get you inside the system.
Who's there?
We choose to deploy a drone to project our hacking ability in this well-guarded room. We distract the guard by quickly hacking into his phone. We finally managed to reach the target computer. The drone is customized to allow interaction with the computer to set up a wireless transmitter into the network.
You're in. Do your thing.
Despite getting off to a disastrous start, the Xbox One hasn't really put a foot wrong over the past few years. The lingering taste of DRM and the inability to share games with friends that tainted Microsoft's console at launch is finally starting to fade, and Xbox head Phil Spencer has been knocking it out the park when it comes to righting a ship that was heading straight for an iceberg. Bigger than Marcus Phoenix's neck back in 2013. In fact, the Xbox One of 2017 looks virtually nothing like the machine that debuted 4 years ago, and that's left me feeling a bit jealous. But it's not just me either. There are plenty of people who jumped to Sony after an extended love affair with Microsoft's 360 who are just now starting to wonder whether they backed the wrong horse. I decided to finally chase that pie-in-the-sky dream and take the plunge on buying both systems. But while owning two incredible gaming machines might seem like the ideal situation for any gamer, the reality isn't quite so glamorous. I'm Josh from WhatCulture.com, and these are 10 confessions of a PS4 owner after buying an Xbox One. Number 10. Microsoft's console needs more games. Although they started out ahead of Sony when it came to exclusive games, Microsoft's library has since been eclipsed by the PS4's slate of upcoming releases. Fan favorites like Sunset Overdrive and Cuphead still make the Xbox One a tantalizing system, but most of the other games have either been disappointing or made their way over to the PS4 at some point anyway. Sony fans, on the other hand, well, they're still basking in the glow of Horizon Zero Dawn and Uncharted 4, and they can only look down on their Xbox One counterparts while they wait for the likes of God of War, Marvel Spider-Man, and The Last of Us 2 to drop over the next few years. Microsoft really needs to up their game, because outside of aging franchises, there's nothing in the pipeline at the moment that makes picking up an Xbox One worth it. Titles like Halo 5 and Gears 4 were decent enough, but where's the killer app on the horizon? Sure, there's Crackdown 3 and... Wait, Rich, is Crackdown really it? Number 9. Regular updates give Xbox an edge. Monthly updates have completely reshaped what the Xbox One can do. Not content to let its console stagnate, Microsoft has been committed to regularly updating its machine with new features that give players a reason to check back every single time something changes. For a company that harbored so much ill will a few years ago, it shows that Microsoft is dedicated to restoring its gamer-first approach, constantly trying to improve the experience for players. Sony, on the other hand, well, they've been stingier than Mr. Burns giving out Christmas bonuses when it comes to releasing firmware updates for the PS4. Coming months and months apart, Sony's recent updates in particular have barely improved anything, with the biggest change being the ability to whiz around the menus at lightning speeds. With only 5 firmware updates in 4 years though, Sony needs to have accomplished something much more substantial than that. Number 8. Online subscriptions dictate which console you'll play the most. These days, not only do you have to splash out on the hardware itself, but you've also got to consider the myriad of subscriptions that come with both consoles. With Microsoft and Sony locking online multiplayer behind a paywall, that's already 2 subscriptions you have to think about buying, while exclusive features like Xbox EA Access or the PS4's PlayStation Now just add to the cost of getting the most out of each console. Obviously though, you have to be loaded to juggle every one of these different subscriptions, especially on top of monthly payouts to providers outside of gaming, like Netflix or Amazon Prime. So you're going to end up prioritizing one system over the other anyway. If you decide to pay for PlayStation Plus or Xbox Gold, that's going to dictate which versions of multiplayer games you're going to pick up, meaning that even if you own both, you'll end up playing one console way more than the other anyway. Number 7. Graphics make a difference. Anyone who says graphics don't make a difference is a liar. Sure, small graphical discrepancies can mostly be ignored, but the technical performance of a game, from its frame rate to its resolution, has a massive impact on your enjoyment of any given title. Nobody wants to have to buy an inferior version if they can help it. So if you own both consoles, there's no way that buying a version of a game that's technically worse is appealing, which unfortunately for the Xbox One is almost always how their third-party releases turn out. The differences in graphical fidelity aren't much of a problem if you can only buy one version of a game, but owning both machines means you'll always go with the more technically competent one, which in most cases means you'll be playing the majority of games on the PS4. Number 6. Backwards compatibility isn't a big deal. The Xbox One backwards compatibility reveal was one of the biggest jaw-droppers of the generation so far. No company has ever implemented a feature like this post-release. Hell, more often than not when Microsoft or Sony talk about backwards compatibility, it's to announce that it's been phased out of their machines, rather than being put in. But if you're not the type of person who routinely plays classic 360 games, then you're not really missing much by not having this feature. It's a nice option, but unless you're dying to play Red Dead Redemption before the sequel comes out, all of those 360 titles that are gathering dust in the drawer somewhere have no reason to be touched. As it stands, allowing gamers to replay titles they probably only touched a couple of years ago is more of a convenient feature than a killer app, especially in an era where all the old games you want to play have been remastered anyway. Number 5. Game announcements become less exciting. Every time a big event like E3 rolls around, the anticipation and debate surrounding every press conference gives me a reason to get up in the morning. Yeah, it's a bit childish, but seeing if the opposing team has that one announcement that completely obliterates anything your side has to offer can make for some of the most memorable moments of your entire gaming life. Remember the cheers and applause Sony received when they announced the PS4 at a lower price and with less restrictions than the Xbox One at E3 2013? Do you think you'd have the same feverish reaction if you knew you were going to own both consoles at launch anyway? Although big game announcements in general are still exciting in themselves, their impact just isn't felt as much because they no longer spark that creative fire that comes with siding exclusively with one console over the other. Number 4. Where your friends are is where you'll play the most. More and more, games consoles are becoming more like social hubs than they are pure gaming machines. The Facebookification of the world is almost complete, and as a result, Microsoft and Sony have designed their dashboard feeds to increase a sense of interaction with you and your friends, increasing the move towards games being a shared experience. As the years tick by, it's becoming more and more apparent that the industry is trying to kill off solo experiences entirely. Even conventional single-player titles feature some kind of seamless social interaction these days, which means that where your friends are is more important than ever before. So with big titles like Destiny paving the way for a multiplayer future, the console you're going to get the most out of is the one all your friends are playing. Otherwise, you're in for a lonely, isolating experience. Number 3, there's no point owning both if you don't care about exclusives. If you're a PS4 owner wondering whether or not to pick up Microsoft's console, you only need to ask yourself one thing. Do Xbox One staples like Halo, Crackdown, and Gears of War do it for you? Likewise, if you've never dreamed of cozying up in Nathan Drake's big, dreamy arms, you're probably not missing much sticking with the machine you already own. Owning both consoles not only complicates matters if you're interested purely in multi-platform releases. I've already mentioned that things like graphical discrepancies and where your friends are will mean that you'll end up buying most of the big third-party games for one system over the other anyway. So it's how much you value the competition's exclusives that'll be the deciding factor. Number 2. Console updates will make you choose a side either way. It's becoming increasingly apparent that trying to buy every new piece of hardware this generation is a fool's game. Because now you're no longer set if you splash out on a PS4 and an Xbox One, as both systems have enjoyed iterative
like a rolling ocean, slow in motion. We'll merge into the masses, and we'll soar raising glasses. Return me to stardust. We'll burn ourselves to ashes. There up in gleaming flashes. The smoke lingers after fire, fading, breaking down. We'll rendezvous at the end, my friend, and light. The darkness left behind. Lingers after fire. Your troubled mind, we are only blind, and the kind cease to be. As we intertwine with their universe and its cosmic symphony. Return me to stardust. Smoke lingers after fire. Limits boundless, heaven starless. Every forest cut down, river dried out. The spirit don't away, and life will go with its game. So nothing's left aside our shame. Return me to stardust. Once galaxies expire, we'll let our thoughts inspire. Smoke lingers after fire. Your troubled mind, we are only kind, and will kindly cease to be. As we intertwine with their universe and its cosmic symphony. Return me to stardust. Smoke lingers after fire.
lives traveling, collecting memories. This on is our body on top like it's been for centuries. We never stop, ready for drop, making our own design. Failing the cops, saving for ops, it is our time to shine. We live our lives traveling, collecting memories. This on is our body on top like it's been for centuries. We never stop, ready for drop, making our own design. Failing the cops, saving for ops, it is our time to shine. It's our time to shine. It's our time to shine. We live our lives traveling, collecting memories. This song is our body on top like it's been for centuries. We never stop, ready for drop, making our own design. Failing the cops, saving for ops, it is our time to shine. We live our lives traveling, collecting memories. This song is our body on top like it's been for centuries. We never stop, ready for drop, making our own design. Failing the cops, saving for ops, it is our time to shine. It's our time to shine.
I saw her standing in the street alone. Her head was down, face locked onto the phone. And I wished I had a number so I could be caller unknown. And then I tell her to look into my eyes and never let it go.
Without your face, what can I do? 'Cause I'm just a sinking ship, and you're just a pair of lips that I've lost in the moment. All I want is for you to come back. Now I'm caught.
And this can be the end. I won't just settle for being your friend. A broken bond is not too late to mend. Well, what can I do? 'Cause I'm just a sinking ship. And you're just a pair of lips that I've lost in the moment. All I want is for you to come back. Now I'm caught. She said, try to give you one more chance. Living in